My name is Kyle, and welcome to Rocket Recommends Super Mario Party. So I'm going to break a bit from the format of my last video and start with a rundown of how Mario Party works, and then we'll jump directly into if I recommend the game or not, because I have some feelings about it. In Mario Party, 4 players take turns moving around a game board by rolling dice and interacting with the different elements around the board. This can range from something as simple as earning or losing 3 coins to buying or stealing a star from a rival. After each person takes a turn rolling their dice, you're all tossed into a minigame. These minigames can be a whole host of different things. One minute you're catching popcorn in a plastic cup on a volcano, and the next you're counting toads on a train? Coins are then awarded to players based on how high they placed in the minigame, and we continue the process until a superstar is crowned the winner at the end. And that's about the gist of it. There have been a plethora of Mario Party games on handhelds and consoles since the Nintendo 64. So after all these years, is Super Mario Party the best game in the series? The culmination of over 20 years of games in this franchise. Is this the peak? The short answer is no. The long answer is no. Super Mario Party is an example of a game that, for every interesting design choice that they make, they almost immediately undo it with another decision. First, while not the only game in the series to do this, Super Mario Party gives coins to each player after the minigame, with first place taking 10 coins and fourth place getting 2 coins. In the past, it was a winner-take-all situation. And I thought this change was great because it keeps players invested in the minigames all the way until their conclusion. Which is great because the minigames can sometimes take up to a minute to complete, and especially the best ones. But stars in Mario Party only cost 10 coins, which is half the amount that they cost in all the previous Mario Party games. This means that doing well in the minigames isn't important at all. In the game I played to capture this footage, Rosalina and I, playing as Daisy, dominated the other two in the minigames. And we finished in 3rd and 4th place. By lowering the cost of the stars and giving everyone coins, even if they get 4th in the minigame, everyone always has enough coins to get a star, which sort of renders what used to be the most fun part of Mario Party, which was competing in the minigames, almost pointless? Another really cool choice that they made in Super Mario Party is to give each character both a standard die and a character-specific die. So, while every character has your standard 1 through 6 dice, Daisy, for example, has a dice that's just 3s and 4s. Now this could add a really interesting level of depth to the choices you make with each roll on a given turn. However, in practice, you really just want to go as far as possible. This is because the boards, of which there are only 4 by the way, are all incredibly tiny. It's not uncommon for a player to roll high and then reach 2 different star locations in a single turn. And since everybody has a ton of coins, they can often buy both stars. And at the end of the game, the only thing that matters is who has the most stars. So this means that if you really want to win at Super Mario Party, you have to pick a character like Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong or Bowser, because they're the 3 characters that are statistically the most likely to move the most spaces because of their character dice. Like Bowser and Donkey Kong, for example, are the only characters capable of rolling a 10 on a single dice. So hopefully those are some of your favorite characters, because choosing anyone else starts you on the back foot. And Super Mario Party is full of catch-22s like that. Some of the minigames are excellent. Steak frying and shaking candy from a jar and swinging a baseball bat in time with the music are some of the best minigames in the entire series. On the other hand, there just simply aren't enough minigames. There are only like 30 some odd 4-player minigames. In the 10-turn game I played for this review, I actually repeated a game twice. I feel like that for every positive point I make about Super Mario Party, it's immediately followed with a but. The minigames are great, but there aren't very many. There's finally online in this Mario Party game, but it's limited to a minigame only mode where you play the same 5 minigames over and over and over. There are more characters than ever in this game, but most of them are just strictly worse than other characters. The new partner mode can be a lot of fun, but only if you have 4 people to play with. The motion control games are a lot of fun, but because of that, you have to play the whole game with only a single Joy-Con controller held sideways, which even for someone like me with small hands, gets uncomfortable quick. So, do I recommend Super Mario Party? No, not unless you're a diehard fan. And this is coming from someone who's played every main game in the franchise, and played Mario Party 9 in tournaments competitively, and even I'm disappointed. I didn't even want to play another round of that game to capture more footage for this. That's why most of the footage you see takes place on the same board, because I just didn't want to keep playing. Mario Party is like rolling the dice. You know, if you roll a 1, you win $100. But if you roll a 2 through 6, you have to eat a pine cone. So what do I recommend instead of Super Mario Party? Alright, this is called Rocket Recommends, not Rocket tells you what not to buy. If you're looking for a good 4-player game and are alright with slapstick fighting, Super Smash Bros. Is a superior party game. If you're looking for something lighthearted for a group to play, I might recommend picking up one of the Jackbox Party Packs in the eShop for the Switch. And the trivia in those games can be kind of tricky, and the jokes can be a little PG-13, so it's kind of geared more for older groups. But they do offer a good party game atmosphere. Everybody plays on their own cell phone or tablet and their own smart device, so everyone has their own controller and everything. And it can also, it's a party game atmosphere that can be enjoyed by adults as well. I mean, or if you're just looking for a board game, there's tons of great games out there. And one game I've seen be popular with people of all ages in all the different schools I've worked in is King of New York. In that game, you play as a cartoonish Godzilla-style monster and try to score points by battling the other monsters with dice and special abilities. And you know what? Sometimes it's nice to just disconnect from technology and just play a good old-fashioned game. So that does it for this week's Rocket Recommends. Hopefully next week we find a great game to play. But hey, 3 recommendations are better than 1, right?